Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So, it appears as though DDG and Halle, they have extended an olive branch to each other. And I like it, but I don't like it. Because Halle is the one who is always having to be the bigger person after taking the hits from DDG. And this guy's not going to change. I've done several videos displaying the behavior of DDG's, even his mom behavior towards Halle and his sister, and how DJ Academics was, doing Halle, and how this little boy, all because Halle said she was going to she was going to set boundaries, because while she was on vacation, he called her, cussed her out, accusing her of having a man around their child, right? Which Halle had to speak to him nicely and reassure him that no such thing took place. After their relationship ended, he went to her house and he was searching her bed, and because her bed was unmade, he accused her of having someone else, even though their relationship was over. When I said to you guys that it wasn't Halo that DDG was missing, it was Halle, I believe that you guys will not believe me. And I get what Halle is doing, and I get what she's trying to do. But with DDG, the line has already been drawn in the sand, in my opinion, and it's not going to change. He went above and beyond to ruin that girl. And Halle is being diplomatic. She wants peace. She wants her child to see a healthy relationship between his parents. But it's very concerning as to how this will be handled going forward. Because the last time Halle told us that DDG hasn't paid any child support, and Halo was, almost 2 years old. Dragging this girl on the internet, saying you don't care who she wants to F, while trailing her, and then labeling her to be psychologically unwell. Do you know that it takes immense strength and intelligence, deep emotional intelligence, to call it truth and say, let's drop this court order and move on? But for some reason, if you've listened Halle's album, you would get the sense that she's just not this person of war and conflict. She wants peace, love, and unity. And she's gonna have to learn that co-parenting from a distance is one of the most peaceful things that you could do. And it's also very healthy. But let's get through this report, because they're saying both DDG and Halle, they have agreed to drop their domestic violence order request against one another. Also, they're saying in a new stipulation filed by the parties and signed off by the judge, the exes worked out temporary custody issues for their 1-year-old. So they have some kind of custody agreements going on there. And while agreeing to dismiss their respective domestic violence restraining order request, they each reserve the right to resurrect the domestic violence claims in the event of any future incident of abuse. But it's a start to show they're trying to move past their differences. I believe DDG will be the first person to resurrect his when he's not able to have his way. But let's move on. They're saying, as for custody, they've worked out a temporary arrangement that gives DDG custody on Wednesdays and certain weekends. If you guys remember, he wanted Sunday. The court said no. You could get, I believe he had one Saturday out of each month. But now he'll get custody on certain weekends. So, which means that they're going to count Sunday. So, he is getting to spend some more time with Halle. Now, as I've said, I do hope Halle doesn't go back to this guy. But in all honesty, we have no control over what she does. She's her own woman. She's a grown woman. And it is up to her to decide what is best for her, what's good for her, what's right for her, and all of that jazz. So, I don't know. There's nothing about them, being a couple. But oftentimes when these things do happen is that they go back together. They keep the relationship on a low profile, like they keep it on the low. And then as things slowly becomes toxic again, you see something blowing out of proportion, and one party may come to the public trashing the other, and that one party that is always coming publicly to trash the other is always DDG. He's the one who's always talking and having a tantrum, And because Halle remains silent, because she's truly emotionally intelligent. She's a really, really intelligent girl. Even when you listen to when she speaks, you can tell that she's truly an intelligent girl. And she loves and loves deeply. You can tell that she still loves DDG. If you listen to her album, she still loves him. The thing is, I can't tell if she's still in love with him, because loving someone and being in love with them, it's just not the same thing. So I really can't tell if she's in love with him. But I can't wait to see what happens for Halle. And DDG is talking about his move to Nigeria. So it's going to be interesting to see how he works that out with co-parenting, It's going to be really interesting to see how these two navigate through co-parenting. And this was one of the relationships that the internet was correct about. And so far, the internet is telling Halle to run, because if she goes back to him, he's going to ensure that he ruins her, and ruins her for good this time around. And normally when the internet speaks on relationships, I can't remember of a relationship that the internet has been wrong about. There might be one. I just can't remember it right now. I remember they predicted Cardi B and Offset, and the outcome was exactly as the internet said it would have been. But irrespective of everything, I wish both of them all the best in their decision, and I especially wish and hope that Halle keeps elevating, in the sense that she levels up and not go back to DDG or any kind of relationship that looks like that. So that's just my opinion. You guys are always welcome to leave your thoughts below.